Flosstube. Thanks for stopping by my channel. My name is Shiloh and I'm a cross stitcher and knitter living in Nova Scotia, Canada. You can find me on Instagram as @Xstitchmd and on Ravelry as @Dr. Shiloh. I'll have links down below to my social media pages as well as to all the projects I'm working on because I'm hoping you'll be very enabled and want to start a million things like I do. So welcome back. It's been I think like 4 months since I last recorded. Life got very busy. I am currently working on studying for my licensing exam. I'm almost done residency. I have 6 months to go as of tomorrow, which is very exciting. So I've been doing a lot of studying, and filming a video went to the bottom of the to-do list. But I'm off on holiday break right now. I don't go back until January 3rd, so I have a little bit of time. So I figured it was about time to show you what I've been working on, because I have been doing a lot of crafting, just not a lot of filming. So I do have a lot to show. Yeah, so let's just dive right in, and I will start off with a finish because I have a finish, and that's very exciting. A bunch of you probably saw me posting my daily progress on this pattern. This was the Countdown SAL that was hosted by Caroline at Off the Grid Needle Arts through her shop Evertotes, and it was a collaboration between Modern Folk Embroidery, who's an amazing designer, and Carrie at Roxy Floss Co, and Caroline, who made this awesome Advent style pattern where every day you got to open up a new packet of floss with the new color of the day, and you got another little part of the pattern, and it was so much fun. I will show you my colors because let's show you that before I show you my finish. It was so much fun every day to open up the colors. They're kind of a wreck on my little ratty floss ring, but here they are. So pretty, all the different colors. It was so much fun. For those of you who follow me on Instagram would have seen that every day I was having my husband Spencer guess what the color was. I would show him the floss and say, you know, guess what the color is, the color name is, and I would give him clues like, oh, it's a Christmas food or it's a Christmas song, and some of the answers he came up were ridiculous. My favorite one was this color. Let me just find it. I think it was this one. Shortbread, which has like a little bit of a pink tone to it, and I told him it was a Christmas food and his guess was turkey meat. No, it's called shortbread. So I don't know if you want to hire him, Caroline, to name your floss. I think Hannah does a bit better job unless you really want things that are named after meats. All right, enough talking about that. Let me show you my finish. Here it is. And how pretty is this? So I used all the called for colors, all 25 of them. The lighter colors, so you can see in this little section, the lighter colors, I used 2 strands. Everything else, I used 1 strand of floss, which is unusual for me, on 36 count. This is a Panettone linen by Roxy Floss Co. And I find that with Carrie's linens, kind of like picture this plus, with the dye process, they do tend to shrink up a little bit. So I loved the coverage of 1 strand on this. It was so fun. I love all the bands every day. It was so much fun to open, and I'm really excited to get this framed. So I believe that Jacob said he's releasing this chart in January. So any of you who didn't join in with the Countdown Sal can get your own version of the chart then. Yeah, it was super fun. I highly recommend you check out the hashtag on Instagram, Countdown SAL, because there's so many different versions. A lot of people chose their own colors. I remember this one in particular, which is all like pinks and red tones. It's gorgeous. So check that out because you'll be highly inspired, especially if you're going to be starting that in the new year. Okay, this is not a WIP, but speaking of Modern Folk Embroidery, I just want to talk about my plans for the 2023 stitch along, which is called, I think it's called Reaching Skyward. Skyward or upward. Let's go with Reaching Skyward because that sounds better. It's a gorgeous chart, and I thought quite a bit about what colors I wanted to do mine in. I really liked the colorway shown on the front, but then when I saw the DMC colors, I didn't realize that it was like a navy and a gold. I was kind of thinking it was more brownish. Anyway, I knew I wanted like a gold and a brown, so I emailed Evertotes. This is not an advertisement for them. I just love their stuff and buy all their stuff. And Hannah at Evertotes helped me pick out 2 beautiful colors. So these are my colors. We have, for the lighter color, I'm using Brazen by Roxy Floss, which I don't think is a released color yet, but it's beautiful, this goldy color. This is my lighter color. And for my darker color, I have Brunette, also by Roxy Floss. So those are my colors together. It's a lot of floss that it calls for. Oops. So those are my colors, which I think will be beautiful. And then for fabric, I am stitching on 36 count Winter Moon by Seraphim. It's not in bed. And this is what it is. So it's a fairly neutral color, and I thought this would look beautiful on it. So this year, Jacob's releasing the entire pattern all at once. So any of you that already pre-ordered it probably have access to the entire pattern now. But he's divided it up into sections, so like 12 parts to stitch over the course of the year. Or if you're a go-getter, you could just stitch it all when it comes out now. I'm hoping to start this on New Year's Day. That's my plan. So we'll see, but that is what I have picked out for that, and I'm very excited about it. I am out of town this weekend for work, so I'm packing a whole bunch of stitching with me and hoping that I don't get called in at all and that people are happy and healthy and don't need to come to the hospital. We'll see. I'm prepared to work all weekend. I'm also prepared to stitch all weekend, so we'll see which way it goes. Okay, let's get into some WIPs, and I think I have some finishes mixed in here as well. It's hard to remember what I showed in my last video, but I figured it's been so long, you guys probably don't remember either, so I'll just show it all to you. All right, let's start with some WIPs. So I think this was a new start last time I showed it, and this is, oh goodness, now I have to remember what it's called, Fish and Ships by Long Dog Sampler. I am stitching mine on a 32 count blue spruce linen. Sorry, I'm just like arranging my needle so it doesn't fall out. 32 count blue spruce linen with DMC 3865. And I finished that whole whale. That was a lot of stitching, and added in some more fish. How cute is this crab over here? This is just such a fun chart to stitch. I really, really am enjoying it. 2 strands of DMC over 2 on 32 count. So yeah, that is coming along nicely. You know, I have all these WIPs. I worked on actually a bunch over the past few months, but it was more just like putting a few stitches here and there to make me feel like I'm accomplishing something. Okay, next one. I'm also filming today in a different location. I'm filming in our spare bedroom, which is also my craft room, aka that closet is all full of stitching stuff. And I'm sitting on the bed and I have everything like spread out around me, so I'm hoping nothing falls or no accidents happen. We'll see. Okay, this next one is one I haven't shown in quite a while, and this is Northern Lights by Stitchrovia. And I'm stitching this on 25 count Lugana with 3 strands of DMC. It's all the called for DMC. Apologies for the wrinkles and how crunkled it is. I just made up that word, crunkled. Yeah, this is beautiful. I love it. I love all the colors. I kind of was just like, I originally was stitching this just from the paper chart and then, or sorry, just from the electronic chart, but then I loaded into Pattern Keeper, which made it so much easier. So I've kind of been doing just like cross country where I pick a color and just complete it. But so pretty. So I think that might be the far edge of it. So it's not that big. And again, 25 count with 3 strands. I'm really liking the coverage, and the colors in this are just beautiful. I find that 25 count Lugana is actually quite easy to see the holes. So I don't find it's bad to stitch on at all. Whereas for linen, I found it a lot harder to stitch on darker linens, especially the higher counts. So if you're wanting to stitch on something that calls for a darker fabric, you could try an even weave or a lower count because it's way easier to see. Okay, what else did I work on? I worked on this gorgeous chart. Let me pull it out to show you. Actually, this is several gorgeous charts, one of which I finished. Let me see. You know what? I might have finished it in my last video. Can't remember. Let me show you what I have so far. So this is the Garden series by Blackbird Designs, and I finished the first 3. Can't remember if I think I showed that to you in my last video. Who knows? This one, so we have Basket of Cherries, we have Apple Orchard, and we have Honeybee. And I'm using all the called for Gentle Arts threads, 2/2 on 32 count vintage smoky white by Swaggart. And I, since then, have started the 4th, which is called Sweet Home. And I adapted it because I think it's supposed to say Sweet Home something Kansas. So I changed it to say Sweet Home Nova Scotia. And this was so fun doing all these satin stitches for the basket. I haven't fully filled in the basket yet, but I think it's looking really pretty. There are 12 in this series altogether, so I'm stitching them 3 across and 4 down. So I still have, you know, a million to go, aka 5.5, but yeah, super pretty. I'm really enjoying all the specialty stitches in these, and I think it just looks so pretty. So yeah, I think I finished this one since last time, or maybe it was a finish on my last video, who knows. Also, I'm just gonna stop saying that because when I am listening to other videos and people say that, I'm just like, it doesn't matter, it's fine, just keep showing it. So that one was a finish. I also finished the other 2. So those were 3 finishes that I had this year. And then working on this one, Sweet Home. Super pretty. The next one up in the series is, show you that, is Butterfly Garden. And I'm trying to decide what I want to write here for the words. So it says County of Jackson is my home. In Nova Scotia, we don't really have counties. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia, so it's like the municipality of Halifax, but that doesn't really, I don't feel like that would work well. So any ideas for what I should put there? I might just put like Halifax as my home and extend the vines a bit. I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of keeping me from wanting to work on this because if I finish it, then I have to go to the next one, which requires thinking. And I don't know if you're like me, but a lot of times when I'm doing stitching, I don't want to think. I just want to stitch. But I will get back to it eventually. Yeah, so that is very fun to work on. Okay, so this one is a new start, and look at the beautiful bag it's in. This is by the Etsy shop Maud and Jane. I don't think they have any of this particular bag in their shop right now, but they have a lot of really pretty fabric bags, and this is a little bit smaller, which I like for some of my smaller projects. Okay, so this one here is one I had wanted to start like forever, and when I was going through my colors for the countdown sale, I thought that 2 of the colors would be perfect to sub in for this. So the pattern I'm working on is Baby It's Cold Outside by Heartstring Samplery. And I'm stitching this on a Lakeside linen, which I've never used Lakeside linen before, and I found some on 123 Stitch. I forget what color this is. I think it's Maple Sugar. 32 count, excuse the hoop wrinkles. It's a really pretty color. I really like it. And I'm using the called for Gentle Art, except I subbed out, I don't know if that's the one I subbed out or not. Yes, I did. I subbed out Bell Snickle for the dark color, and I subbed out Holiday Punch, both by Roxy Floss Co. for the lighter color. Otherwise, I'm using all the called for. So it's just a small start, but very, very fun. And I'll show you the color palette. Oh, I have my needle minder. Little needle minder. Yeah, so I'm using Leo and Roxy Bell Snickle and Holiday Punch, but the rest are the called for Gentle Art. And then there's 1 week Styworks in there. So pretty simple palette. I will get back to this. I was in a very much a Christmas mood and I started a couple Christmas projects, and I will get back to them eventually. Also my Christmas nails. Oh goodness, missed recording because I can just be slightly ridiculous. Okay, the other project I started that was a new Christmas start, also in a pretty non-Christmas bag. This is also by Heartstring Samplery, and this is called Hibernation Day. And I was highly enabled, as per always, by Caroline at Evertotes to get the floss pack for this. So she did a conversion to Roxy Floss Co. threads, and I'm just trying to make them look pretty. It's a mess. Beautiful, beautiful threads. So she did a conversion. I think the original called for is sampler threads, because I have my little handy dandy card here. And she also sold this with the 32 count Panettone linen, which is the same linen I stitched my countdown sal on. So super small start, 32 count, 2/2. I love the air. This makes me laugh every time I see it. So it's a band sampler, so it's very long and skinny. It's beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to get back to it. And it's not specifically Christmassy, it's more wintry. So I think this is something I can definitely stitch on throughout the winter. December, most of my stitching was really on the countdown style because the daily stitching wasn't too much. It was anywhere from like 200 to 400 stitches a day, which wasn't bad. But when there was other things factored in, like studying and Christmas parties and stuff, I didn't really have a lot of other time for stitching. So I'm hoping to kind of work still on some of these Christmas pieces this month, because this month being January, which is not January yet, but hoping to work on some of those Christmas winter pieces. Because the baby it's cold outside isn't Christmas either, it's more just winter. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, what else did I work on? Another Christmas piece I worked on is the Winter Wonderland by Xstitchmd. And I had started this as a stitch along, I think it was 2 years ago now. I want to say it was 2020. It may have even been 2019. I can't remember. It is such a beautiful piece. I am stitching it with the called for DMC 2/2 on 36 count. I think this is flax linen. And I did kind of this section since you last saw it. Like, look how beautiful this is. I really want to finish this. Not enough stitching time, as always. But isn't it so pretty? So I really just have, I think there's a couple more snowflakes in this, and then it'll be like 2/3 complete. And I think it's a bit more than 2/3 complete because these blocks are quite stitch heavy. But yeah, I would love to get that done and put it up for Christmas. So pretty. We did not decorate for Christmas this year. Very sad, but we always, well, always. My husband and I have been getting a real Christmas tree since we've been together. And this year, with having a 1-year-old male dog who is not yet neutered, that says to wait till 18 months, so that's what we're gonna do. I was worried he'd pee on it. So we did not get a Christmas tree this year. We also were out of town right after Christmas for 5 days visiting my family in Ontario. And the last thing I wanted to do when I came back from vacation was have to take down a tree. So we didn't put up a tree this year, but I'm hoping next year I'll have some Christmas finishes that we can put up and also have our tree put up. Because it's just nice to have like the festive stuff. I did light a bunch of Christmas candles, so that kind of counts as Christmas decorating, right? Okay, what else did I work on? I worked on Merrily, Merrily We Welcome Spring by Blackbird Designs. Such a gorgeous sampler. Oh my goodness, like look at this. It's stunning, it's beautiful, it's perfection, it's amazing. Love it. Don't love that it's a paper chart. I still haven't found a great way of getting my paper charts like digital. So I've been like scanning the chart, like scanning it, like I have a scanner and scanning it and then like putting it into my iPad or something. But I find like even when I scan it, the chart seems to be a little bit wonky. So the grid lines don't line up. Does anyone have any tips for that? Because I'd really like to do that because I don't stitch on my paper patterns as much. So I just really prefer electronic because I can like zoom it as big as I want versus like trying to like squint at my chart. Hashtag first world problems. Okay, so my Merrily Merrily Welcome Spring. I don't remember the fabric this is on. If you go to my Instagram, it will have the correct fabric. I know it's an XJU design. I think it's like hazelnut or something like that. And I'm stitching it with all the called for over-dyed floss, 2 strands over 2 on the 36 count. And look how pretty it is. Also, it's upside down. Oh, it's gonna be this amazing reveal of my office needle minder, and it was upside down. There we go. How cute is that? Got it somewhere on Etsy, don't remember where. Yeah, so I think this is getting close to the first page finished. That's Sam barking, sorry. Oh, Sam. Yeah, so that's like nearly the first page finish. I'm loving all the colors and it's so much fun to stitch. But again, because it's a paper chart, I don't stitch on it as much as I would like to. So that may be one of my New Year's resolutions, is to figure out a better way of getting my paper charts into electronic just so that I work on some of these gorgeous patterns more. Because like all of my Blackbird design patterns, I love them. I want to work on them, but then they're paper, so that I don't. yeah, so we should figure this out together. Or Blackbird Designs would be so nice if you did PDFs. So nice. I can't be the only one that would like PDF of Blackbird Designs, right? Okay, this next one, I gotta show this bag. I got this bag from Shiba Designs on Etsy. I'm an Office fan, if you couldn't tell. And like, look how amazing this is. So good. Apologies if you can hear my husband screaming at the dog downstairs. He is very much a German Shepherd. He likes to shepherd, which means he likes to bark at everything that walks by, because why isn't it walking straight and, you know, being herded together? Okay, so in my Office Schrute Farms bag, I have this needle minder, my project. And this holds my Patchwork Quaker by Wienberg Designs. Apologies for the wrinkles. Look how far I am on it. So I brought this with us to Ontario this past week, and I got a little bit of stitching done in the evenings, like before we had dinner and such. So I was able to get these two motifs done, as well as this little thing over the past week, which I was proud of. And like, look how beautiful this is. I had started this as a stitch along with Megan of Georgia Girl Stitching, and she recently posted a picture of this motif, so I think she's working on it too. But I'm using the called for DMC, 2 strands over 2 on 36 count aqua Swaggart linen, Edinburgh linen. It's so pretty, I love it. I think according to Pattern Keeper, or whatever app I have this in, it's not Pattern Keeper, I think I'm like 63% done. So it's coming along. I'd love to finish it in the next year. It's so pretty. I just love all the fun motifs in here. Like a grasshopper, it's amazing. And like a fly, like it's so good. So good. The fabric's showing up pretty true. It's definitely like a tealy aqua color.
CM, do you think you could be a little bit quieter so Mommy can do her video? It would be very sweet and nice of you if you wouldn't mind. Only if you wouldn't mind.
Another Blackbird Designs piece I've been working on is the For the Birds series. So I was working on the Garden Club series, and I've also been working on this one. So I'm also on number 4 for this one. This one's called All the Hills Echoed. It's really pretty. This is one funky looking bird down here, but I love it. I made some decent progress on it. So let me show you close up of that one, and then I'll show you the rest. So there's that one. I have like most of the outside border done. I've kind of put the windows in on the house. It's looking pretty good. I'm stitching this with the called for Weeks Dye Works, 2 strands over 2 on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha by Swaggart. And here is the whole thing together so far. Look at that. So let's show you each of these. This one's called She Sights a Bird. Couldn't tell you what this one is. It's on my Instagram. I forget what the name of it is though. And this one is called It's Spring Fever, this one here. So pretty. I really enjoyed stitching these. The color palette on this is so pretty. And yeah, I'll get back to this one soon. The next one in the series, let's see, which is number 5. Sing a Song of Seasons. This one's really pretty. I really like that. So pretty. So yeah, this one only has 9 in it instead of 12. So this will be a quicker finish. Although these ones are a bit bigger. I think these ones are more like 90 by 90. Yeah, 91 by 91, and the Garden Club series are more like 61 by 61. So it is a bit more stitching in the For the Birds, but fewer of them, if that makes sense. All right, what else? So this project, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I haven't finished it yet. It's embarrassing, but my plan is to finish it this weekend, if work cooperates. So this pattern is Everything in White by Durfine Fadden. Probably saying that wrong, apologies. And this is a pattern available on the Silk Stitching app. And I'm so close to finishing it. Like, look at this. I literally just have this section left. I think I'm like 87% complete. I'm stitching this with DMC. That color is really true right there. DMC Ecru, 2 strands over 2 on 32 count pansy purple even weave by Fabric Flare. Look at the year, 2021. Love to finish it in 2022, so it's not as shameful. It's so pretty. I really, really enjoy stitching on this, and I don't know why I set it down. I probably got a rabbit hole of something, but I want to finish it. So I picked it up last night, got quite a few stitches in, and I'm hoping to finish it this weekend. I think I have about 1,000 stitches left to go, so I can definitely get that done. And it's so pretty. So, so pretty. Love it. Oh, I also wanted to say this piece behind me here is Kindness and Fortitude by Modern Folk Embroidery. I stitched that quite a while ago, but it hangs in my craft room, aka the guest bedroom. One day I will have the craft room all to myself. All right, the last stitching project I wanted to show you is my gigantic, enormous WIP, which is Bewitched Park by Artisy Designs. I am stitching this on 18 count Aida. I've gotten so much done since the last video. Are you ready? Like, I don't even think you're ready for how much I got done on this. Ooh, I don't even think I can show it all. It's so big. Look at that. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of it. Look how good it looks. I'm stitching this with all the called for DMC, 2 strands over 2 on 18 count Aida. Like, look at the reflection in the water. Like, how pretty is that? This thing is massive, okay? So it's 19 inches tall. It's going to be 31 inches wide. And I'm at like 63%, I think. Can you even see this? I can't see. It's just like I'm holding a giant blanket. Look at it. So the goal is to finish this by my husband and I's first wedding anniversary, which would be August 13th, 2023. I'm on track. And yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I just want to talk a little bit about my method for stitching full coverage. I know a lot of people use different methods, and I always find it so interesting to hear how people stitch, how people decide to do it, kind of what works for them. So my biggest tip is use Pattern Keeper, which is an app available only on Android devices. I got a cheap tablet for like $100, Android tablet on Amazon, which I only use for Pattern Keeper. And I load the pattern in there. It's so great because you can tap on a symbol and it highlights all the instances of that symbol. So it's really easy to, what I do, so maybe I'll explain it this way. What I've been doing is I've been stitching in columns, as you can see, because I'm working my way from left to right in columns. So what I do, I've just kind of started a new column here. What I do is I stitch 20 stitches across all the way down. And I don't stick to the strict 20 stitch box. If there's stitches outside of it, as you can see here, I will carry it. That way it kind of feathers the edges. Like you can see all the way down here, I've kind of feathered it a bit just based on what color, what symbols were where. And that avoids any of those harsh lines you see if you just stitch page by page. So I pick, like, when I'm starting my new 20 by 20 column, I pick the symbol that's at the top left, and I just stitch as many instances of it in till my thread runs out. And so I'll go as far as I need to this way, as long as they're still like connected. I won't go like right, it'll be gone this far. And I just keep doing that for the 20 across. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me. And I just do that, continue that all the way down, and then I start my next 20 by 20 column. And that's how I've been stitching this, and I really like it. It's worked really well for me. We'll see how it goes. I just have to show this section. This section has so much confetti, but it's so pretty. I love it so much. Yeah, I'm really proud of this. My husband had asked me to make this for him, and it's definitely a labor of love. It's taking forever, but it's going to be done one day. So yeah. And then it's going to cost a lot to frame, so that might be his present to me for our anniversary. Okay, that is all of my stitching WIPs. Let me show you a couple of knitting WIPs. So I just have a couple knitting WIPs I wanted to show you that I've been working on. This first one here is a shawl called Yvonne MT by Moonstruck Knits. And the yarn I'm using for this, I had originally purchased to do the Stephen West 2022 Mystery Shawl Knit Along. However, I didn't start the first clue. Like, I wasn't ready to start the first clue because my yarn hadn't come in on time. And when the first clue came out, I didn't love it. So I decided just to keep waiting. And I'm glad I did because I didn't love the finished shawl. And it sounded like it was a ton of work to knit as well. Like just the amount of knitting time it took. So I'm glad I didn't. And I saved the yarn for this project. So I'll show you my yarn first. It's all Holst Garn, super soft. So this color is silver gray. This one is graphite, and this one is flannel gray. So those are my 3 colors together. And here's where I'm at on the pattern. Ooh, I'm mid-row. Ooh, that was bad. I was knitting this on the plane when we were getting home, so it's mid-row. But here is where it is so far. So this is the top edge. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So this is all mosaic knitting. And then you add the 3rd color in here. So this bottom section is just the 2 colors. Then you add the 3rd color in there. So I got a ways to go with this, obviously, but it is so much fun to work on. It is I find it quite easy to do in terms of you only have to look at the pattern for the right side row, because on the back side row, you just basically knit everything you knit on the other side row. So it makes it, you only are looking at the pattern like half the time. And it's super pretty. And I love this little scalloped edge. It's so fun. So I'm really enjoying working on this. Yeah, and I really like the super soft. Oh, I should say too that with this yarn, Holst Garn is a light fingering weight, so it's pretty thin. So I'm holding it double, which I think is approximating like a sport weight, and I'm using US 6 4.0 millimeter needles. And I really like the fabric I'm getting. I wouldn't have been happy with it if I had held it singly, so I'm really happy with that. And it's working out nicely. And I have exactly enough yarn. It's like I planned it, and I did it. So that's that project. The other shawl I'm working on that I'm so close, I just need to do the bind off, but it's an I-cord bind off, and those take forever, so I just haven't bothered yet. But look how beautiful this is. So this is the Satellite Shawl by Andrea Mowry. And I am so close, and I don't know which way it goes. I think it's this way. Oh, it's this one, okay. And here it is. Look how pretty this is. Okay, like this is beautiful. This is a triangle shawl. It's just looking funky because I have it upside down or something. I don't know, sorry, I'm just throwing it around. Look how pretty this is. So I got this yarn as a kit from Full Moon Fibers, which is a Canadian indie dyer based out of Ontario. And it uses 3 shades of Surrey alpaca, and then 1 fingering weight yarn. It's so pretty. I can't. So these are short rows throughout in the yellow, which kind of made the shawl longer. And then there's garter stitch, and then there's brioche, and it's so pretty. And all I have to do is an I-cord bind off. I already started it. And I just have to do that the rest of the way. So it's still like a lot of stitches to bind off, which is why I kind of got bored and put it aside. But I will finish this eventually. The main reason I put it aside was because I came up with the idea. I had quite a bit left over of each of my skeins of the alpaca. So this is one of the colors, the pink. And so I decided to make a cowl. How pretty is this? I just made this pattern up. It's basically like cast on like 100 stitches. I did a 1x1 rib for like 8 rows, and then I just like knit with this color till I ran out, added the yellow, knit till it ran out, and I'm gonna just knit with the pink. This is gonna get a little bit trickier because I basically have to knit until I can do the bind off, knit until I do the ribbing. So I probably should have weighed my yarn so I know exactly how much. But I think I'm just gonna do a bunch more rounds until I get, and if I need to rip out, I'll rip out. But I wanted to use up as much as I could, and this is so incredibly soft and squishy. So I'm holding the alpaca double, And I have this on a US 3.25 millimeter needle. And it's so soft and cozy and I can't wait to wear it. Yeah, so that's what distracted me from finishing the shawl because I got really excited about the cowl. And yeah, this has been really fun. And it's such easy knitting because it's just round and round in a circle. So it's like perfect for TV or meetings or anything like that. And yeah, so that is 2 projects out of the same yarn. Yay me. Okay, that is my knitting WIP. So let's talk about some plans I have for 2023. All right, so 2022 may have been the year that I bought a ton of stash. So because my stitching time went down a bit, to console myself, I bought a bunch of stash, telling myself that, you know, it's like an investment into my future. I am hoping that 2023 will bring some more stitching time. Like I said, I'll be finishing residency in June and then hopefully starting work as a staff psychiatrist at a hospital here in Halifax. And that will mean no more studying, much less call, and hopefully just overall more stitchy time. So I have a lot of plans for things I want to start in 2023 as well as things I want to finish. So I want to finish Bewitched Park. I have a goal. I know how many stitches I need to do per day to stay on track with that, which is great. I would love to stay on track with the 2023 Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along. That's less of a priority. So if I don't stay on top of that, that's okay. That's more just like something fun that I want to try to keep up with. But I have a lot of projects I want to start, and I was very kindly gifted a gift card to 123stitch.com from my in-laws for Christmas. So I kitted up a bunch of projects. I do not have them in the mail. They haven't been mailed yet, but I have the charts already. I just bought the floss and I already have a ton of fabric. So I'm excited to start some of these once I get my fabric and floss. So I figured I'd just show you some charts that I have that I'm hoping to start. The first one is the bonus chart that came in the countdown stitch along by Modern Folk Embroidery. So this was in our day 25, and how stunning is this? So I think right now this is an exclusive for the people that purchase the countdown stitch along. I'm assuming it'll be released sometime in the future. It doesn't say. Jacob may have said on his most recent video, I'm not sure. But it calls for a bunch of the colors that were given in the advent calendar. Some of them you won't have enough of, and he said just to kind of mix and match. That sounds stressful to me, so I'll probably just pick another color. But I love this. It's so beautiful, so I'm looking forward to starting this sometime in the near future. The next chart is Turkish Delight by Rosewood Manor Designs. And I know Carrie from Roxy Floss Co. did a gorgeous conversion to her own threads, which you can get on Evertote. I was looking at the back of the chart when I ordered it, and it shows like these sections stitched like monochromatic, which got me thinking I kind of want to stitch this all monochromatic in like a navy. I do have the fabric that this calls for, which is Picture This Plus Rubiicious. I don't know how you say that. How do you say that? Who knows? And it's this beautiful red, and I think it'd be really fun to stitch this all in blue, like all in navy, and it would be monochrome, and it would be so much easier because there's a million color changes in this. What do you think? Is that a good idea or is that weird? I think it looks good because when I looked at it on the back here, like I really liked how that looked. So that's what I'm thinking for that, and I'll probably just use DMC for that. Okay, the next one I am hoping to start is Winter Rose Manor. So I have all the threads on order for this, which are a mixture of different over dyes. It's so beautiful by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I know Brenda released a kind of, to me it looks like a companion piece, which I think is like something about light. That really helps, right? And it was a retreat piece, so I think it's not coming out till next Christmas, but it's beautiful. So I'd love to start that this year. So pretty. The next one, I actually don't have all the parts to yet. So if anyone would like to part with them from their stash, I am looking for them. So this is Sampler of Stitches by Drawn Thread. And I have most of the parts. So I'm missing ABC. I have DEF, GHI, just poke myself in the eye, JKL, MNO, PQR, STU. So I'm missing V, W, X, and Y and Z. I don't know if those are, I think those are two separate ones. So yeah, I'm missing the first one and the last two, I believe. So these are super fun because there's different specialty stitches. It's beautiful. I think there's, well, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 9 altogether. So yeah, I'm missing 3 of them. So if anyone has them in their stash and wants to pair with them, I would love to buy them. They're kind of hard to find because they're out of print now. I think they're out of print. Maybe they're not. If you know where to get them, let me know. So yeah, so I got the silks for this that are coming in the mail and I'm excited to start it. And all these patterns, they often have like little charms. So this one has like a little dragonfly charm, which is included in the pattern, which is great. So yeah, excited to start these. Next one I want to start imminently is Humming of the Bees by Blackbird Designs, because look at how gorgeous that is. So pretty. So hoping to start that in 2023. As I'm looking through this, I'm like, this is a lot of charts I want to start in 2023. If I start a couple of them, that would be good. Next one is The Winter is Past by Blackbird Designs. And I really like this one because the colors are really similar to my For the Birds piece. So I think it would coordinate really nicely with that. Also want to start this Heart and Hand by With Thy Needle and Thread. So pretty. As well as Quaker Handwork by With Thy Needle and Thread, also stunning. And finally, Parchment Tapestry by Rosewood Manor. This is so pretty. It also has 500 million colors, and I would need to put this in Pattern Keeper if I were to do it, because there's so many color changes in this. There's like, it's also charged for Weeks Dye Works, and I don't think I'm going to use Weeks Dye Works because that's a lot of colors. I probably would do the DMC conversion. Yeah, so those are some of the charts I'm hoping to start. I also was enabled by Laura and Brenda from Brenda and the Serial Starter to get the 2023 Needlework Press Book of Days, as well as this book of 1,000 stickers, which is incredibly fun to look through. And there's like lots of cool stickers in it. So I'm hoping to track my stitching this year in this book. So write in starts and all those kind of things. I think it'll be really fun. So I'm really looking forward to that and just kind of trying to be a little bit more organized in my stitching, because, you know, then I dig through my stitching and find pieces that I started, you know, years ago and are almost done, and I've just kind of left them. So hoping to get a lot more finishes in 2023 and also just continue to enjoy my stitching, because it just brings me so much comfort and enjoyment and delight and all things. So yeah, that's all I have for today. I'm hoping to start recording monthly. My schedule looks a little bit more free over the next few months aside from studying. So I'm hoping to do a monthly video. So I will see you all again, hopefully in 1 month. Hope you have a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Happy New Year. Happy stitching, happy knitting, happy everything. See you soon. Bye.